Hi, it's Imogen Lamport. My next question today comes from Karen, who says, I find prints tricky. I'm not sure about finding my preferred shapes and colours when trends don't necessarily reflect them. My daughter says I should just wear solid colours and neutrals, but I like some prints. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing prints. And you know what? What's really interesting is some people suit solid colours better. So the people who really suit solid colours are people who have, say, a physicality where they've got, say, a very solid hair colour, a very smooth, even skin complexion, and they don't have a lot of different colours in them necessarily, but just their appearance is actually more kind of solid in itself. The colours that are in them are more solid. Now, there are also people who have more multi-tonal hair, who have, maybe they've got highlights and lowlights, or maybe they're like me, where they've got kind of shades of grey, and they've got maybe coloured eyes and a different coloured skin, or maybe they've got curly hair, which in itself is a pattern. Or textured hair in some way or other. And this often really suits prints. They look much better in a print than in just a solid block colour or, a very plain outfit. And so this is where it's understanding when we are repeating the harmony in us, this is where we look our best. It's creating this balance and harmony with our own physicality and, of course, our own personality. Now, as far as prints go, prints are very much a personality piece. So if you are, you might like animal prints, you may prefer florals. Maybe it's stripes, maybe it's paisley, maybe it's an abstract, maybe it's a small repeating geometric. There's so many different sorts of prints, and this comes down to personality. And of course, at any one time, fashion will be delivering a certain set of prints. Like I was just reading about fashion trends, and it was saying that, kind of checks, tartans, plaids are going to be the big fashion trend in prints. So maybe if you're a florals person, you're going to struggle a bit more right at the moment to buy florals. But honestly, florals are always around. Most prints are still around. But even if you like florals, there are a million different sorts. There's itty bitty little kind of Liberty print style florals versus there's, what I think of, say, a watercolor artistic sort of floral. There is a more lifelike, as if it's like a photo printed sort of floral. There is, the almost abstract floral where it's, until you look closely, you don't really notice it's a floral. There's all different sorts. And this is why within any print or any pattern, there's still a lot of different versions. And part of that is which are the ones you prefer. So I always recommend, if you're trying to figure this out, is to go to your wardrobe and look at your favorites. Look at what you've got in your wardrobe. Is there some dominant print that you have in your wardrobe already? That's going to tell you that you tend to be more naturally drawn to that. And then when you're looking at those ones, which are your favorites out of those? What style of print is that? Is it big and bold? Is it small and delicate? Is it quirky and unusual? Because this is going to tell you what your style of printed pattern is. And this is really important because it really relates to your personality and understanding what it is that you love. So, look, I always go, current trends come and go. They happen fairly quickly. So sometimes you may not be able to find, if you're specifically looking for something, you might not always be able to find something, but this is where I know so many women have actually turned back to sewing so they can actually make things themselves that they like. And you know what's great these days is there are actually, if you go online and you search up, digital printing on fabric, you can actually find all sorts of prints that you can have printed on all sorts of fabrics that you could then have made into a piece of clothing. So you can actually get something specifically for you that you love. So even though, yes, mass manufacturing is only producing a very small kind of amount of stuff at any one time, there's a lot more choice because of digital printing, that we do actually have these options these days. And so that's where I think, part of it is go online and, just search up, digital fabric printing, and you'd be amazed at what you can find. And a lot of these places that do this digital fabric printing, they have lots of people, designers, who upload prints in all different styles. And you can actually go through and find something that you love in colours that work for you and have that printed in a fabric of your choice. And then you've suddenly got fabric that you can have turned into a garment that you are really going to love. So don't always be limited by what's currently out there in the fashion trends. Now, your daughter may suit the solids, and that's why she is advising you to wear solids. Also, too, is we have just gone through a fashion trend of what they called the quiet luxury, which was very, very plain. But you know what? Pendulums in fashion swing one way to another, and there's lots of prints around. So if you like prints and they work for you, wear them. They may work for you physically if you are a multicolored person. So if you've got colored hair, colored eyes, or even colored skin, you will often look better in a print because you need to add more colors into your outfit. And prints are a really easy way of doing that rather than wearing lots of different solid colors at once. So this is where just because she loves something doesn't mean you have to always follow her advice, but it's about finding the right print for you.